This month I've been enjoying writing with vibrant summery inks before I move on to a warmer autumnal palette in October. I spent an absurd amount of time agonizing over which ink to use in my Hobonichi weeks this month. I eventually decided on my Moonman in the T1 model with Van Dieman's Parrotfish, which I bought earlier this year. It's a bright turquoise with purple shimmer and it looks fabulous in this Moonman. This is only the second time I've used this ink and it works a lot better in this than in my Peniter Avatar. I'm still not completely sold on it though. I haven't done a lot of long form writing yet, but the shimmer doesn't seem very consistent throughout. I still can't get over how this is a fine nib. It definitely writes like a medium.
It's not pretty.
For the monthly spread in my reading journal, I chose my Visconti Rembrandt with Diamine's Icy Lilac, which was part of their 2024 Inkvent calendar. This is a medium cool tone purple with silver shimmer. I usually have to double check that this Visconti is a fine nib instead of a medium since it's such a wet writer. But in this case, the ink is a little on the dry side and it writes closer to what I think a fine nib should. Earlier this month, I visited family in Minnesota, so I brought along my Pilot Vanishing point to use in my travel journal. Never mind that I only wrote 2 incomplete sentences. I'll get around to it eventually, maybe. I chose Diamine Fruit Cocktail from the 2024 Inkvent calendar. It's part of their scented collection, which I'm really not a big fan of. This is a bright summery orange that leans coral. I like how the color contrasts with the pen, but I do wish it had some more shading or sheen. It's very flat. I'm just ecstatic that I can actually write with this because 2 of the scented inks from the 2023 edition are virtually useless. They're very wet inks that have a tendency to feather and bleed, but this one is surprisingly well behaved. I did not need another teal or turquoise ink, but I did need free shipping on a recent stationery order, so I tossed this Troublemaker ink into my cart. Of course, I immediately had to ink this up and chose my Estie and Lilac to complement the teal. Aren't they lovely together? It's called Bantayan Turquoise, but I consider it more of a teal. To me, turquoise is bluer, like parrotfish up top. It also has a pretty pink sheen. Right before filming, I inked up my Gravitas Bifrost with Robert Oster Fire and Ice. I was going to use it to journal about the original Little Mermaid story by Hans Christian Andersen, but unfortunately, Fire and Ice doesn't work well on Archer and Olive paper. It soaks too much into it, so you can't see its red sheen. And how am I supposed to symbolize all the blood from the story if you can't see red? I might end up just writing the rest of it on the same paper I used for the title and paste it in. I guess you could consider Fire and Ice a dark turquoise. Next to the Troublemaker ink, it looks very blue, but if you held it up to a true blue, you'd notice more of the green undertones. Both of the inks have this gorgeous reddish pink sheen though. Lastly, I'm using my Leonardo in Aquapetra to take reading notes. I paired it with Colorverse Hayabusa, which is a vibrant violet that has a green sheen. It was a special edition in 2018, so it came with a shimmer version that I don't use as much as I should. Speaking of shimmer inks, I still haven't tried one in my Aquapetra. I haven't had any issues with them in my other Leonardo, but I've been really hesitant with this one. Maybe it's because I love how smoothly it writes and I don't want to screw it up. In conclusion, we have 3 sheening inks, 2 shimmery inks, and 1 smelly ink. If you made it this far, please let me know which is your favorite combination. I hope you'll consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Ja mata!